Hi everyone, this is Terry from wellchick.com, and today I'm going to show you how to save your green smoothie greens that are about to go bad before you're ready to use them. So if you follow my blog, you know all about the famous 10-day green smoothie cleanse that I and others have used pretty successfully to break food cravings and jumpstart weight loss and healthier eating habits. And here's the book right here. One of the challenges of the cleanse, which you don't really find out about until you get into it, is what I call the race against time, where you sort of pray that all those bulk greens that you've brought home from the store or the farmer's market or Costco, wherever you get them, don't go bad before you've had a chance to use them. It's just really depressing to kind of be halfway through and then have to throw out a whole mess of greens and just waste a lot of money. So anyway, I found a pretty good solution to this problem, which I'm going to walk you through right now. The average green smoothie recipe in this program calls for a ratio of 2 handfuls of greens to 2 cups of water, along with your other ingredients that you might put in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add 1 of those cups of water. You can see right here that's about 1 cup. I'm going to add that to my blender, and I'm going to, let's just pretend that these are greens that are on their way out. These actually are in pretty good shape, but I've had some that have started to get a little grimy, and it's at this stage that I would take about 2 handfuls of this. So this is just some spinach we're going to put in here. And I'm going to pre-blend this before I go to the next step, and you'll see why in a minute here. It's just... So I just want to get that pre-blended. If you were on the program, this would probably be it. It would be your 2 cups of greens and your water. But let's say you're like me, you're done with the program and you're kind of doing your own thing and you're just sort of in maintenance mode and adding green smoothies to your regular diet. So in that case, you come up with your own recipes according to your own taste. And what I like to do is I like to add a little bit of celery. So I'm going to put that in here. A little bit of cucumber, a little bit of ginger to add a little zing, and I'm going to throw an okra in here. I would normally never eat this if it were cooked. I'm not going to lie. I'm just not into the whole slime thing that this kind of dissolves into, and it's just a little gross to me. But it's really nutritious, and so I want to find a way to work it into my smoothies. And I find that if you use just one, you can't even tell. The taste just kind of disappears, and that's exactly what we want. So I'm going to go ahead and blend this up again. And you can see that what I've wound up with is a nice, vibrant green base. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and I found these really cool giant silicone ice cube makers. And I guess people use this when they want to get fancy serving drinks to their company or whatever. But we're going to use them and pour a little bit into each one. And each one of these cubes holds about a half a cup. Actually, it's exactly a half a cup. So you know that what you're getting in one of these trays is 2 cups of green base. And then what I love is that it comes with this little silicone top that you can just kind of slide over here, and this allows you to stack them nicely in your freezer, and you don't have to worry about freezer burn or whatever. So that's pretty much it. So you wind up with something like this, and what that looks like, you can see this is actually from my freezer. I've got a little bok choy here that I've already frozen. I've got some spinach here that I've frozen, and it's just a really handy way to preserve your greens. And you can see that you can even take them out and put them in little baggies, and this is what they look like. You've got little green cubes here that you could also, by the way, use in a vegetable soup or a base, or you could even use this container to do vegetable stock, vegetable broth, baby food, herbs, whatever. So, you know, the question you might have is, well, can I use regular ice cube trays? You could, but it's just a little bit harder to stay on top of the measurements that way, and I like just having these handy 1/2 cup servings of greens that I can use in whatever. The other question that you might be wondering is, well, why can't I just take these frozen blocks and just throw them into the blender when I'm ready and make my smoothie from there? And the problem with that is that you really need a certain ratio of liquid to solid and frozen ingredients, and this here with the frozen fruit and the other solids really just throws that whole balance off, and you're going to wind up with a sort of a mix between a Slurpee and just frozen slush, and it's just not really going to come out well in terms of consistency. So it's better to just take this out the night before you want it, let it defrost, and then you get up in the morning and you've saved yourself about 2 extra steps. So that's pretty much it. So just to recap, you know, the benefits of this, obviously you're saving money by not having to throw out greens. The second thing is that you're saving time in the morning. You don't have to go through the pre-measuring of greens and pre-mixing. And then the third thing is that you really are just saving room in your fridge, because now instead of having bags and bags of greens that you've got to store, you can just kind of condense and transfer all that volume of green goodness down to these handy little frozen cubes and have them ready to go whenever you need them. So there you have it. I hope this has been helpful, and feel free to check my blog at www.wellchick.com, where you'll get not only links to some of the products that are featured here, but also other tips, tricks, and info related to the 10-day green smoothie cleanse, of course, but also lifestyle, fitness, and health in general, including some of my favorite recipes. So until we meet again in the next video, enjoy.